Okay, let's unpack this.
Let's do it.
We are diving deep today into the intensely pressurized, very funny, and actually surprisingly profound world of Eleanor Moran's novel, Mr. Almost Right.
Right.
And we have a wealth of source materials here that meticulously chart this just chaotic year in the life of Lulu Godwin,
Mhm.
who is a costume designer who is, I mean, she's fundamentally searching for the Lulu inside the Godwin twins.
Exactly. And our protagonist, Lulu, finds herself in just, a perfect storm.
She really does.
Professionally, she is acting boss on this incredibly stressful film production. The budget is zero. The demands are impossible.
Yeah.
Personally, she is just desperate to define herself outside of this really intense codependency with her twin Alice.
And right in the middle of all of that, this
Yeah.
this existential crisis, she gets completely blindsided by an instant, undeniable, and let's be honest, deeply destructive attraction to her leading man, Charles.
And that's the spark, isn't it?
It is. It's a classic narrative of sort of delayed adolescence meeting a real moral reckoning. So our mission today is to pull apart these three interwoven threads. You've got family loyalty, career chaos, and this illicit passion. To understand how all these external pressures force Lulu to finally decide who she is.
And more importantly, what she truly stands for.
Exactly.
And this is where the insight lies for you. I mean, this deep dive isn't just about tracking a protagonist's love life.
No, it's much bigger than that.
It's an exploration of individuation. Lulu spends most of the novel operating as Alice stroke Lulu. She defines herself by her relationships, by her family structure.
Right.
So we're going to track the psychological drivers that lead her to choose safety over desire, and then eventually integrity over infatuation. She has to learn that genuine self-definition is, it's often earned through conflict, not comfort.
That is a perfect way to frame it. So let's start at the very foundation of Lulu's identity, which is that relationship with her twin, Alice.
The Godwin twins.
The Godwin twins. They are fundamentally a unit. And this unit was cemented by a really foundational childhood trauma, the sudden death of their mother when they were only 10.
And that event, it didn't just traumatize them. It essentially fused them together.
Fused is the right word.
Yeah, the sources show that the twin dynamic became their primary defense mechanism against the world. They actively maintain this shared identity.
And they do it by referencing their mother's tradition, right? These outlandish, adventurous narratives they'd create.
Yes, the twins traveling to exotic places, solving mysteries, saving the day. It's this fantasy world they live in.
It's a really poignant form of continuing that connection, isn't it?
It is.
Lulu explicitly notes that carrying on this conceit makes it feel like they're still holding on to a fragment of her.
So their identity isn't just shared, it's a mutual armor against the vacuum their mother left behind.
A self-contained, self-sufficient unit. They rely on each other completely.
And that leads directly to this very intense codependency. I mean, it often borders on what psychologists might call enmeshment.
Enmeshment, that's a good word for it.
Lulu worries she'll never believe anyone's good enough for Alice. That suggests this deep, almost, parental protectiveness that makes it impossible for her sister to truly integrate an outsider.
They're so used to speaking for each other, relying on each other, that the idea of separating their emotional fates is, it's just terrifying for them.
And that fear, it manifests in their wildly contrasting approaches to romance.
Oh, completely. Lulu, she's trying desperately to create an adult life outside the shared cage. So she pursues the good-on-paper archetype.
Right, like Steve the lawyer.
Exactly, Steve the lawyer. She chose him not out of passion, but out of obligation. She feels like she's hurtling towards 30.
So Steve's was a strategic move. It was about securing external validation, about timing. It overlooked genuine connection purely for the status of having a stable boyfriend.
It's the illusion of safety.
It is. Lulu tries to tick all the boxes of a functional adult life.
Whereas Alice?
Alice dives headfirst into chaos.
Total chaos.
She selects what Lulu accurately calls hopeless wastrels. The men who send her autumn poems, wear terrible clothes, and just hang around making cow eyes and mooing.
It's such a perfect description.
Alice's choice is driven by this deep-seated and ultimately, a very damaging social worker streak.
She doesn't want an equal partner.
No, she wants a project, someone to fix.
And their family environment just heightens all of this. It's a comedy of errors that only makes the twin unit more self-protective.
Yeah, you have their younger half-brother, Rufus.
Who is wonderfully naive about basic life logistics.
Just completely oblivious.
After Lulu and Alice nearly kill themselves moving flats, Rufus just innocently asks why Lulu couldn't have asked Steve to help.
He just doesn't get it.
He doesn't grasp the painful etiquette of a recent breakup or, the nature of their deeply intertwined, often dramatic lives.
No, he's a classic younger sibling caught between two extremely dynamic, high-functioning drama magnets.
That's a great way to put it.
And the twins, they manage his life. They're pressuring him to join dating sites like My Single Friend.
Arguing that they are the most qualified people to sing your praises.
Of course. And the sources detail this hilarious tension when Rufus finally brings a date home, Dinah.
Oh, yeah.
And she is immediately subjected to this intense competitive scrutiny by their friend Gareth, who is determined to use his unbeatable gaydar to suss out Rufus's true orientation.
Right. It's impossible for anyone new to enter the Godwin circle without being, completely analyzed and judged by the existing unit.
And if that wasn't enough stress, the broader estranged family unit reappears.
Here we go.
Their father, a chemistry professor, became emotionally distant after their mother's death. He just retreated into his lab.
And now he's visiting from Boston for a conference with his new wife, Julia. And Julia adds this wonderfully bizarre layer of health anxiety to the whole thing.
Yes, Julia the nutritionist, pathologically obsessed with bowel health.
She is
Constantly stressing the need to obey the call to stool.
It's just the irony of this intense, forced focus on internal harmony juxtaposed with the absolute relational disharmony of that dinner table.
Yes.
It's spectacular.
It really is.
And the dinner itself is just a magnificent failure.
Oh, a total disaster.
It culminates in this external disaster that almost seems like destined to happen around the Godwin family.
Their father's rented Prius window gets smashed.
Smashed. And his crucial, irreplaceable conference materials are stolen from the boot.
And this chaotic incident just confirms his long-held distant hatred of London.
It reinforces his emotional separation from his daughters. It's just sad.
And if we look at this thematically, the constant stream of external chaos, from Alice's wastrels to the shattered Prius, it mirrors the internal instability of Lulu's life.
That makes sense.
The twin identity, which started as armor, has become a psychological cage. She cannot address her adult life, her career, or her desires until she steps fully out of the safety or the perceived safety of being Alice/Lulu.
Which is why she is so vulnerable when we transition into this next section.
Exactly. She is actively seeking a new identity, even if it ends up being a destructive one.
Okay, so having established the instability of her family foundations, let's look at the immense professional pressure Lulu is under. Because this is the environment that allows the Charles disaster to bloom.
Right, the incubator.
Lulu is operating in the shadow of her sick mentor, Zelda.
And Zelda's a big deal. Executive producer with magnificent credits, Rome, Hotel Babylon.
A legend. So Lulu is acting boss on this show, Last Carriage to Avon.
And Zelda, even though she's sick, is still this towering figure. She assures Lulu, "You're not a duckling anymore, you're fully grown."
But Lulu is clearly overwhelmed.
Completely. She's simultaneously grappling with this pitifully dwindling budget and the impossible, often artistic demands of the production.
And the atmosphere is just poisonous. It's dominated by the self-obsessed, young, edgy director, Tarquin Butler.
Tarquin sounds like an absolute nightmare.
A total nightmare. He micromanages, he stresses, and he seems entirely focused on his own artistic ego, not the practicalities of the production.
And then you throw in the awful actress, Emily, who plays Bertha.
Ugh, Emily. Constantly fussing over her appearance, demanding that Lulu make her look like a princess.
Despite the fact that her character is wearing, mundane, apron-heavy costumes.
Right. This is the definition of professional distraction and frustration.
So this creates a state of constant, low-grade stress and extreme exhaustion.
The perfect incubator for an affair.
Exactly. And so when Charles Adamson, the leading man, arrives, he doesn't just enter a workplace. He enters a highly charged bubble where professional boundaries are already strained.
And the chemistry between him and Lulu is just instantaneous. It's described as overwhelming.
It is. Their first true connection, the legendary Cheesegate.
Cheesegate.
It happens in a Covent Garden deli, and it's about gourmet cheese, which sounds mundane, but the source materials emphasize that Lulu finds his combination of a commanding, confident presence and his casual, intimate charm.
Utterly irresistible.
Yes, he offers a total escape from the drab reality of budget spreadsheets and demanding directors.
But that joy is immediately qualified, and this is crucial.
Hmm.
The attraction is immediately doomed. Lulu notices the absence of a wedding ring, but she quickly discovers he is very much married.
With 2 young sons, Theo and Max.
And despite knowing this, the nature of their work constant late nights, remote locations, the required physical proximity on set, it just makes the situation torturous for Lulu.
She's fighting this internal battle against desire while having to literally fit him for costumes every single day.
That physical proximity, it culminates in this moment of shared professional humiliation that ironically cements their bond.
The wet breeches incident.
The wet breeches. During a sea rescue scene, the cheap lycra mix used in Charles's cream breeches turns fully transparent when it gets wet.
Exposing his private parts to the entire cast and crew.
The whole crew.
It's a fantastic, embarrassing catastrophe. And Lulu is technically responsible for the quality of the fabric.
Right, so the shot is ruined, Tarquin is incandescent with rage, and Lulu is left completely humiliated, apologizing profusely.
But what's essential here is that this shared professional low point creates a high point of intimacy.
You're in trouble together.
Exactly. The vulnerability and the shared secret of the embarrassment, it transforms their raw attraction into something more conspiratorial, more intimate.
And this is where the analysis deepens, right? If we connect this to the bigger picture, the extreme environment of a film set working 18-hour days, living in close quarters on location, it creates this highly charged bubble.
It does. They are constantly dealing with manufactured, heightened drama on screen.
And it inevitably bleeds into their personal lives. It makes illicit passions not just possible, but almost inevitable.
The ordinary rules of the outside world just don't apply when you are running on no sleep and pure adrenaline.
Exactly.
So the affair begins almost immediately on location. Lulu describes their first passionate moments as feeling like a current of electricity.
And they share intimate details. Charles rationalizes his behavior by discussing his, functional marriage-to-be.
Right, noting she was his acting tutor at drama school. He minimizes his commitment, basically framing the affair as the exciting, necessary contrast to the dull stability of his home life.
And Lulu buys into that narrative, at least initially,
Of course.
because it provides her with an excuse for her dishonesty. She tries desperately to frame the affair in her mind as a painful, doomed holiday romance.
Something with a clear expiration date.
Yeah, she tells herself she is determined to maintain her dignity and protect Charles's family from the knowledge of her unbridled lust.
She's trying to rationalize a fundamentally moral compromise, but the universe just keeps injecting reality into her fantasy.
Oh, it does. There's that crucial, gut-wrenching moment when they're having an intimate moment in Charles's car.
And she sees the children's car seats looming like twin Alsatians.
Twin Alsatians. And then the sheep toy starts playing the tune up, "Ba-ba, black sheep."
And the combined effect is just visceral. It hits her with the force of reality.
She's not just having a secret liaison. She is actively engaging in an act that makes her the wife's worst nightmare.
She's trying to compartmentalize the act as pure passion.
But the car seats and the sheep toy are constant reminders of the family structure she is actively undermining.
The sources show her internal struggle is severe. She is fighting her own moral compass, choosing intoxication over integrity.
And this is the crucible. This is what forces her to finally examine her personal values, and it sets the stage for the contrast that arrives with PC Alistair.
Exactly.
So the narrative shifts now. It introduces the necessary contrast. Lulu is deep in this intoxicating drama with Charles when she first encounters PC Alistair, or Ali.
And this initial meeting is built on deception.
Complete deception. He pulls her over for erratic driving in a rental van, and she's driving on Alice's license.
She gives him the false identity. Louise Abigail. Alice Hannah Godwin.
The layers of denial and deception are already baked into her relationship with Ali before it even begins.
But Ali, he's relentlessly honest and persistent. He doesn't just let her go that night. He tracks her down.
Using the scant details she accidentally provided.
And attends her housewarming party. And Lulu, obsessed with Charles, just views Ali as a nuisance. She fails to recognize his worth because he represents stability, not drama.
He is the polar opposite of Charles. He is integrity incarnate. He's an idealist who moved to London to work for the Met because he believes this is where the help's needed. He wants to make a tangible difference, not chase personal fame or escape reality.
And he also carries the scar of betrayal.
Right. His ex-fiancée cheated on him with his best friend.
Which gives him a profound sensitivity to dishonesty, making him the perfect mirror for Lulu's current state of moral compromise.
He's the safe, honest path, and she is actively resistant to it.
And that resistance is psychological. Lulu has spent her life choosing either safe but boring, like Steve, or exciting but unavailable, like Charles.
And Ali is.
Ali is available, honest, and good.
And her obsession with Charles acts as a safety barrier against true, honest commitment.
Yeah. When they finally go on a date, Lulu is still guarded, preoccupied, and Ali can sense it.
He throws down a gauntlet, doesn't he?
He does. He says he chose her because someone might seem like a bit of a nightmare but turn out to be well worth the hassle.
He's essentially challenging her to drop the twin persona and the drama magnet persona and let him see the real Lulu.
Yeah, he's calling her out.
And this is where the dynamic gets complicated by external influences.
Namely, Jenna.
Jenna, Alice's consistently unlucky friend.
She is a master of romantic chaos. The sources detail her history of leaving her knickers on a Minnie's number plate and dating a man who was kind of arrested.
Kind of arrested.
Jenna is the embodiment of the kind of lovable chaos with Eli. Lulu thought she was escaping by choosing good on paper Steve.
And when they are all at the Tex-Mex bar, Jenna just shamelessly flirts with Ollie.
Asks if the field was open, because Lulu clearly wasn't interested.
And that moment is critical. Lulu is hit by this sudden, furious wave of jealousy.
And that jealousy is the first major sign of self-revelation.
Right.
She has been denying her attraction to Ollie, comparing him unfavorably to Charles. But the thought of Jenna, the drama magnet, claiming Ollie instantly forces Lulu to acknowledge that she does care.
He's not Charles, but he is fundamentally important to her burgeoning sense of self-worth.
And as Lulu is grappling with this self-realization, the Charles deception starts to catastrophically corrode her relationship with Alice.
Because Alice accidentally befriends Bea.
Charles's wife. And Alice praises Bea glowingly. She calls her hilariously funny and a devoted mother.
So this innocent admiration from her twin increases Lulu's guilt to a crushing, unbearable degree.
She is betraying the woman her sister admires, and that betrayal is destroying the trust that defines their twin bond.
And the final catastrophic rift between the twins erupts because of an excruciatingly specific detail.
The upstairs Lou.
The hidden upstairs Lou. Alice realizes Lulu has been lying to her about the affair because Lulu knew about a hidden Lou in the cottage.
Charles must have shown her that intimate detail.
That tiny, mundane fact proves the extent of the betrayal and the depth of the lies Lulu has been telling.
And Alice's reaction is not just anger, it's devastation. She labels the affair a sordid little escapade, but the words that cut Lulu to the quick
Are the ones of ultimate rejection.
Yeah. Alice accuses Lulu of acting like she no longer feels like my twin.
And this is the psychological equivalent of ripping off the armor Lulu has worn since she was 10. It forces her to confront the absolute cost of her choices.
She sacrificed her foundation for a fleeting, high-drama infatuation.
And this external failure, it acts as the catalyst for her internal resolution. That profound sense of loss gives her the strength to end things with Charles. She initiates the breakup, and in a test of his commitment, she demands he say the 3 magic words.
I love you.
To prove his sincerity about leaving Bea.
And this is the moment where Charles's fundamental flaw that he is perpetually performing is exposed.
Completely. Lulu notes his delivery is florid and hollow.
Because he's an actor. His grand gestures are his most natural form of communication, but they lack genuine, felt truth.
So Lulu instantly concludes that he is a weak one.
He's Mr. Almost Right. Because he embodies the drama she desires, but lacks the spine of the man she needs.
It is the ultimate moment of self-definition. Lulu chooses integrity.
She realizes she has to be the adult in the room.
Prioritizing Charles's family stability over her own passing infatuation, she consciously refuses to become the agent of a family's destruction.
And this decision isn't just about rejecting Charles.
No.
It's about accepting the responsibility of her own moral standing. She is finally choosing to be Lulu, independent of the twin unit and independent of high-stakes drama.
So Lulu's newfound commitment to integrity is immediately tested by a series of high-stakes professional crises.
Right away.
Her mentor, Zelda, whose health had been failing, deteriorates sharply.
This forces Lulu to step up completely, juggling her grief over Zelda's imminent death with the ongoing chaos of the production.
And Zelda, even in her decline, imparts this crucial lesson that Lulu holds on to.
Yeah, that powerful flashback conversation. Zelda shares a story from a safari shoot, an out-of-Africa-esque location.
Where she had been tempted by a Greek God actor during a moment of profound marital dissatisfaction.
And she explains that she pulled back only after staring intensely at an elephant, a creature she describes as looking like some kind of deity.
And the lesson there is
That the elephant made her realize that even if her husband never found out about the affair, she would always know.
the internal witness.
Exactly. That's Zelda's last gift to Lulu. It reinforces the necessity of personal integrity regardless of external consequences.
And that memory of internal fortitude, it inspires Lulu when the ultimate professional disaster strikes.
The costume van fire.
The fire. And the sources suggest it might have been accidentally caused by Tarquin's noxious mini-cigar after he forced Lulu to show him Emily's wedding dress,
But regardless of the cause, the fire destroys every single garment.
leaving the production in absolute existential chaos and Lulu's career potentially ruined.
And this is her true moment of professional courage.
It is. Spurred by Ollie's confidence and her grief for Zelda, she takes an enormous, almost impossible risk.
She approaches Tim LeGrande.
The Oscar-winning costume designer who is notoriously aloof and intimidating. A man so powerful and difficult, even Zelda was said to be cowed by him.
And she can't approach him with a desperate plea. She has to appeal to his artistic sensibilities.
Right, and Lulu wins him over not with professional flattery, but by discussing Zelda's brilliance and eloquently articulating the subjugation of costume design in the industry.
How the costumes are often seen as less important than the actors or the director.
She successfully establishes a bond built on shared professional respect and the memory of Zelda. It's a masterful move. It shows she has learned to negotiate the high-stakes world she operates in.
And that leads directly to the action sequence we need to savor.
The airport run.
Tim agrees to lend Lulu priceless costumes from his archive, but only on the condition that she can retrieve them from the airport warehouse before the 4:30 flight takes them to Milan.
It's a ridiculously tight deadline.
And who steps up to help?
Not Charles, the dramatic actor.
But Ali, the reliable, principled police officer.
He's already at Zelda's funeral wake with Alice and Jenna, which just proves his loyalty to Lulu's whole complicated world.
And he risks his entire career racing Lulu to the airport in his squad car.
Lights flashing, sirens blaring.
Lulu asks Siren, and he just looks at her, demonstrating that he prioritizes her genuine needs over his professional safety, the absolute inverse of Charles, who prioritized his professional life over Lulu.
That scene is the perfect visual contrast between the two men, isn't it? Charles offered high-drama fantasy. Ali offers decisive, reliable, career-risking action when she needs it most.
The man she can truly rely on is the one she'd been running from.
Because he didn't offer the intoxicating complexity she was used to. And the funeral itself, that becomes the catalyst for the final reconciliation between the twins.
Right. Alice and Jenna arrive with the police escort, thanks to Ali.
Which is beautifully awkward, but shows Alice's loyalty.
And when they finally speak, Alice reveals the painful truth. She had sent a long conciliatory letter to Lulu's old address, to Garrett's flat.
Believing Lulu had ignored it out of spite.
That small, tragic miscommunication just clears the air completely.
It does. Lulu apologizes, acknowledging the painful truths she learned from the affair and the rift. She needs to learn to be herself without Alice.
And she suggests they live apart, maybe in separate flats in the same area like Hackney, but remain a supportive unit.
She needs to move past being the twins 24/7 and finally become Lulu. I might even be Louise on occasion. She is claiming her unique identity.
So with her professional life saved and her family unit redefined, she finally turns to Ali,
And he reveals he is taking a new job in Glasgow.
admitting he had previously exaggerated the location as the remote Outer Hebrides.
To test her feelings for him.
By making himself artificially unavailable, he asserts that Lulu only seems interested now that he's unavailable, calling out her established pattern of chasing the unattainable.
But Lulu is finally ready to reject that pattern. She confesses the full truth about the Charles affair.
Recognizing that her self-definition is complete.
She admits the affair was intense, but it wasn't real. Well, it was a bit real, but not real enough for me to believe it could ever work.
She realizes that the high-drama infatuation was a distraction. It was a way to avoid the messy, honest work of building something truly functional.
So, having chosen her independence and redefined her life outside the twin identity, she is now ready for an honest relationship built on trust and mutual respect.
And she doesn't hesitate. She accepts the idea of long distance and even plans to move to Scotland for him.
She's prioritizing the person over the location, the exact opposite of her previous choices. And we get that climactic defining moment on Primrose Hill. as Lulu and Ollie share a kiss.
Lulu receives one final text message from Charles.
I love you, and I'm sorry.
But the timing is everything. Lulu, having finally earned her resolution, doesn't even pause.
She ignores the message, pushes the phone deep into her bag.
That text, a final attempt to pull her back into the drama, is rejected.
She chooses Ali. She chooses stability, integrity, and her new independent life over the performative, fleeting passion of Mr. Almost Right.
The temptation is acknowledged, but the choice is firm.
So what does this all mean?
Well, if we connect this to the bigger picture, Lulu's journey is a powerful demonstration that knowledge and self-definition are not granted easily.
No.
They are earned through deep personal conflict and moral compromise.
Mhm.
She spent her life hiding within the twin identity, which allowed her to seek these self-limiting relationships.
Right, either the safe, boring Steve or the destructive, unavailable Charles.
Exactly.
And the fascinating analysis here is that Ollie was never the dramatic option. He was the map to the life she truly needed. Charles was the destination she thought she wanted because he fit her expectation of high-stakes cinematic romance.
Ali offered genuine partnership. He reflected her desire to do good and be brave, despite her mistakes.
And she had to become Lulu distinct and independent before she was truly ready to see and accept the stability Ollie offered.
And it speaks to a profound human truth, I think. We often chase the unavailable or the dramatic precisely because it creates a safety barrier against true, intimidating commitment.
That makes perfect sense.
Charles's flaw, his weakness, made him safe
Yeah.
because the affair was guaranteed to end.
Right, had a built-in exit.
Whereas Ollie's integrity forced Lulu to confront her own messy reality and commit fully, which is a far scarier prospect than a doomed romance.
And this raises an important question for you to consider, reflecting on Lulu's journey. When breaking free from deeply ingrained habits and codependencies, like her bond with Alice or her attraction to dramatic men, is it truly possible to find a path to growth that doesn't involve some form of collateral damage? Whether it's hurting a friendship, damaging a family unit, or having to decisively walk away from a deeply felt, if flawed, passion like the one with Charles, conflict often seems to be the unavoidable price of genuine adult individuation.